Kia ora, no, you're with breakfast. It's a topic we can get a bit funny talking about, but irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, affects an estimated 1 in 7 of us. It's also exacerbated by stress, and with the year we've had, people are increasingly noticing more issues with gut health. Our nutritionist Claire Turnbull from Mission Nutrition is here and has more on how our guts and our mind are so closely connected. Morena.
Good morning.
Okay, so obviously it's really, really common, but what is IBS?
So IBS can be, it's a variety of different symptoms, so it presents differently in different people.
Yes. A lot of people wouldn't even know that they have this.
No. So if you're getting that kind of like looking like you're 6 months pregnant after eating, so the distension, excess gas, it's very normal to pass gas, but if it's kind of excessive or a problem, varying bowel habits, so if you're going from constipation to diarrhea, pain in that kind of region. One of the key things with irritable bowel is it's actually diagnosed by eliminating other issues first. So you need to go and check that it's not celiac disease, it's not bowel cancer, it's not endometriosis. And if they've basically said it's not those things and you've still got these problems, then it's probably irritable bowel syndrome. But it's debilitating for people, you know, particularly if you are uncomfortable, you go out and you need to loosen your trousers or feel like you need to go to the toilet every 5 minutes. It's really challenging.
So if you have IBS, this is something that is constant in your life, as opposed to every now and again.
Yeah. So people with irritable bowel syndrome, will struggle with it ongoing. But the thing is that stress exacerbates it, so it makes it a lot worse. So when you're going through stressful situations, when you haven't slept, obviously the year that we've had has meant that people who may have had very mild symptoms and it didn't really bother them are now being pushed over into this. My goodness, this is actually a real problem, and I'm either embarrassed by it or it's actually limiting your life because you can't live normally.
And you're seeing more and more people with IBS?
Definitely, yeah. So I work in private practice, and we're seeing more and more people who are just finding it more difficult to manage. And that's because the gut and the brain are connected. So there's got a communication system. And the easiest way to kind of describe that is if you are going for an exam or you're doing a competition, you get that weird sensation in your stomach. Or, you need to go to the bathroom if you're feeling nervous. And that's actually the brain and the gut communicating. So when you are stressed, that communication, that kind of makes it a lot worse. Therefore, the symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome get worse.
Now, we've got about 30 seconds. So
what can you do?
How do we solve it?
So three quarters of people will respond to what's called the Low Fodmap Diet. It's not a fad diet. It's basically reducing the number of foods that cause excessive fermentation in the bowel. And it's interesting. It's things like apples, onions, cauliflower, sugar-free chewing gum, sugar-free sweets.
So this can cause it. Is this what you're saying?
Yeah, that can cause. It can make it worse. So it's not about eliminating those foods. It's about finding your level of tolerance to those foods, because what they do is they cause more fermentation, more gas, and they draw water into the bowel, which causes the diarrhea. So it's about working through the process of figuring out which one of those it is. And there is a process of working with a dietitian, and there's lots of good resources on the Low Fodmap Diet. But it is really important, not to eliminate it, but find your level of tolerance to those foods.
Why is garlic there?
So garlic is one of the foods that can be a trigger for irritable bowel syndrome. It's not that these are bad. It's that often people go, I'll go gluten-free, I'll go dairy-free. That's the common thing if you've got a gut issue. That is not the thing to do. You need to get checked. It's not something more serious. And then this Low Fodmap approach will work for 3 out of 4 people, along with stress management, because obviously that changes the communication between the gut and the brain.
Wow. Claire Turnbull.
3 out of 4 people. Wow. Thanks. What's the name of your firm? Mission Nutrition.
Mission Nutrition.
Right, we'd like to put in a plug for Claire because she's fantastic.
Lovely to have you on the show.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.